Hey guys, what's going on? Steven back again, and I'm back with another 40k video from Major Kill. Now quickly, before I get into that, I want to say come and join me over on Discord. I am trying to become more active on Discord, so you can come join me. We can talk all things 40k, fantasy. You guys can suggest videos for me to watch, and we can even talk all things that were announced and revealed at Adepticon. Since at the time that I'm recording this video, it is the day, I believe the day before Adepticon. Let's see, Adepticon starts March 22nd to the 26th. Okay, so this is the 21st. So by the time this video gets out, I'm sure Adepticon will already be underway. So who knows what will be announced and revealed. There's rumors of new Space Hulk, 10th edition. Apparently 10th edition is supposed to be coming out, I guess, in June. So who knows? We could get a teaser. I do hope we get one of the trailers, though. Remember the trailer for 9th edition with the Necrons and the Space Marines and the Sisters Battle? I hope we get something like that for 10th edition. I'm sure we will. But, yeah, who knows what else could be announced and revealed. You know, the Lion. Hopefully, that'd be badass. But yeah, come and join me over on Discord. There should be a link down below in the description box. If it is not working, let me know and I will try to fix it. All right, so anyways, let's get on to the video. And the topic of today's video is the 5 most terrifying Loyalist Space Marine chapters. Interesting. All right, here we go.
G'day guys and gal. Horror is a big theme in Warhammer 40k. After all, they have demons, parasitic space bugs, night lords, and dark elder. Just to name a few of the more unsavory entities that can fuel your nightmares. But something unique about 40k is that the Loyalist Space Marine chapters, the good guys, can be just as terrifying, if not more so, as the forces of hell. Loyalists that eat human flesh, kidnap and rape loyal Imperial citizens, build effigies out of skulls and bones, and just cause an all-round ruckus. Everything I just mentioned is canon examples of stuff Loyalist chapters have done and do. Very scary Loyalist chapters. Before we get started, did you know that I have a merch store with some pretty cool stuff on it? A 20-pack of dice, which works a treat for any wargamer, a big-ass, high-quality desk pad that gives me a chuckle whenever I lift my keyboard, stickers, magnets, a protein shaker,
I don't know a whole lot about the Legion of the Damned,
stubby holder. If I can neck this beer in one go, you guys have to buy some merch. Oh, it's so cold. The things I do for money. We also have like 3 white Cordian caps left, which make you look pretty jacked apparently. I look great there, but only because of the hat. My recommendation would be to buy the One of Everything bundle because you get a massive discount. I personally worked with the designers for each piece of this puzzle and we just restocked, so there should be enough for anyone who wants to join in on the fun. I won't be releasing any more merch until we hit 500,000 subs a few months from now, so this is it until then. Link is below. Today we'll go over 5 of the scariest Loyalist Space Marine chapters, detailing why they're scary beyond just how they look. Let's get into it. When you think of the Ultramarines, you probably imagine exquisite sci-fi Roman architecture, common sense, and a strict code of honor. You probably don't imagine a bunch of Death Guard looking motherfuckers that build effigies out of corpses, celebrate death, wear the bones of their enemies, and use fucking power scythes in combat. But here we are. The Mortificators chapter are a successor chapter of the Ultramarines, and they aren't just like some rogue cousin that has run off. They always answer the call of their parent chapter, and were even one of the successor chapters that came to Guilliman's aid upon his resurrection and helped him get to Terra. But how did the Mortificators go from a classic Ultramarine successor to these horrifying, reckless battle monsters that eat the corpses of the fallen? Well, when they went off from the Ultramarines, they were led to a planet via psychic means. The planet was a savage world full of cannibals and death, actually quite suitable as a Space Marine recruitment world. However, they were so savage that even when the Mortificators recruited them, they maintained a lot of their brutal culture. After a few centuries of recruitment, where the cannibal recruits outnumbered the original members, the chapter was like, fuck it, and went full spooky mode. As a part of their recruitment process, a neophyte must kill an enemy warrior, then cleanse the flesh off their head and wear their skull as a mask. Until they do this, they are unworthy to join the chapter. They will often drink the blood and eat the flesh of their enemies, creating effigies out of different body parts to celebrate death and their victory. This does sound very heretical and begs the question, why haven't the Inquisition stepped in? Well, it's because the Mortificators are so damn reliable and loyal. Their culture is pretty fucked, but their combat record is near flawless, and their dedication to the Imperium is unquestionable. They're so reliable that even Uriel Ventress of the Ultramarines is good mates with their chapter master, at least before the chapter master died.
I mean, I guess that does make sense, you know, they are spooky and creepy and do god-awful things, but, you know, they are still loyalists. They are reliable. Let them do their own thing as long as they're loyal, reliable, whatever. Do whatever, you know? That's what I'm guessing why the Inquisition just... whatever.
But yeah, with their Death Guard vibe, cannibalistic nature, defiling of enemy corpses, and their obsession with death, the Mortificators are scary boys. The Iron Hands are one of the least played, loved or fleshed out legions, so it's no surprise that their successor chapters are barely mentioned. However, there are exceptions. The Red Talons being an especially terrifying one. When the legions were divided, it wasn't random. Space Marines who fitted the role of a new chapter were put within it. For example, all the most zealous and hardcore Imperial Fists were to become Black Templars. The Iron Hands were already a bunch of hardcore murder machines, suffering PTSD and a lot of rage over the death of their Primarch. But the Red Talons took this a step further by being made up of the most unstable, vicious, and low-key crazy Iron Hands. They existed purely to get vengeance against the traitors, and would do so with extreme ruthlessness. For example, during the Horus Heresy, which was when the Red Talons were unofficially founded from one of the surviving Iron Hands groups that escaped Isfahan, they encountered a world that was under the control of Horus, but like, not really, just kind of subjugated with a small garrison. The Red Talons didn't give a fuck though. They invaded the world, bombed the shit out of the cities, massacred the armies, and as the citizens came out to celebrate their liberators, the Red Talons planted nukes all over the world then left, allowing it to be consumed by a nuclear holocaust. When they became an official chapter, they were the High Lords of Terror's solution to any traitor problem, knowing that the Red Talons were to execute their orders with extreme prejudice. They were one of the 5 Pentarchy of Blood, chapters that were deemed so vicious and ruthless that they were sent to wipe out 11 traitor chapters with relative ease. That's right, they were able to wipe out double their number. Now they might not sound that scary, but you gotta remember how twisted the Iron Hands are to begin with. Self-loathing cyborgs that have removed concepts of mercy or pity from their very being. The Red Talons were the psychotic version of these psychos, who would happily kill 1 billion babies in nuclear fire to destroy 10 heretics. If the Red Talons are sent to your world, then I hope you're getting the fuck off it. I've spoken about these guys a few times, but nothing really says terror like the Death Spectres. I mean, their name is already pretty spooky, but that is actually the least scary part about them. See, there exists a region of space called the Ghoul Stars, a place where the dark energies of an alternate realm have leaked into real space, tainting it and cursing everything within it. The scariest part is that this alternate realm probably isn't the warp, it's something more terrifying. The only Necrons in the Ghoul Stars are a realm of flayers.
Something more terrifying than
the warp? That flew through it, went insane and became twisted. It's just not a great place. The Death Spectres are the chosen guardians of the Ghoul Stars, the first line of defense if the eldritch Lovecraftian horrors of the alternate dimension ever break through. As befitting a spooky chapter, these guys also use power scythes in combat. But eldritch horrors, Ghoul Stars, power scythes, these are just entrees to the real terror of the Spectres. Since their homeworld is barely populated, because, you know, Ghoul Stars ain't the holiday destination of choice, they will fly out to nearby populated Imperial worlds, kidnap a number of young women or girls, then bring them to a world closer to the Death Spectres. There, the women are then raped by the chapter serfs, impregnated, and then their offspring is then attempted to become more Death Spectres. The women are raped over and over, forcing to give births as many times as possible until their fertility collapses. Such is the necessary of the Death Spectres' vigil that they are allowed to continue this practice. To make them even spookier, a genetic mutation in their original Raven Guard gene seed means that they have glowing red eyes and are extremely pale. Pretty sure whoever came up with these guys just went as hard as possible on the edgy side. Fan favorite now, we have the Flesh Terrors, from easily the most hardcore and vicious of all the Blood Angels, and that is saying something. The Flesh Terrors are the only Space Marine chapter who the Orcs don't want to fight and have actually retreated from without firing a shot. This is because of how single-mindedly vicious these guys guys are. In combat,
even the orcs?
their berserker frenzy is enough to make a World Eater look calm, and they often kill just as many allies as enemies, since once they begin fighting, they often lose control and cannot identify friend from foe. It's no wonder that the Flesh Tearers were another of the 5 Pentarchy of Blood, alongside the Red Talons. They were just really fucking good at killing. I want you to imagine you were a guardsman fighting some orcs. Shit's tough. Terry ate a bullet to the face, and the orc line is only a few dozen meters from reaching you and fucking shit up. Then suddenly, Space Marine drop pods. Hell yeah! They land amongst the orcs as Crimson Warriors come out with revving chainswords. They begin cutting into the orcs, turning the tide of the battle. You feel relief, but then something is off. They aren't just killing the orcs, they are ripping them apart with not just their chainswords, but also their claws and teeth. There is no nobility or honor in this carnage. The battlefield becomes a charnel house as these angels of death kill every single orc. It's horrifying, but you've won.
Are you sure they're loyalists?
Suddenly, one of these Astartes turns to look at you, right in the eye. You look back and you can only see madness and hunger. Suddenly, the Crimson Warriors charge at you and your mates. You only have time to say, "Holy fuck," before your face is ripped off and your body dissected. This actually happened in the lore. And finally, saving the best to last, we have the horrific Carcharodons, the Space Sharks. It's believed that these guys' gene seed is a mix between Raven Guard and Night Lords, a combination that isn't very good for the skin apparently, but amazing for scaring the shit out of people, murdering your enemy, and growing extremely large. After all, Tybros, the Space Sharks chapter master, is the largest Astartes to ever live. Most Loyalist Astartes are defenders, conquerors, liberators, saviors.
How big is he?
Only the Space Sharks are predators. They travel for thousands of years at a time at the farthest reaches of Imperial space, acting as a silent predator, intercepting threats before the Imperium even knows about them. Many in the Imperium don't even know they exist, and are always shocked when they pop up and offer their services, only being legitimate due to the ancient identifier codes they provide still being valid. Once again, the Space Sharks are one of the 5 Pentarchy of Blood, who slaughtered the 11 traitor chapters. I feel like the Imperium was like, who are the most fucking ridiculously terrifying and vicious chapters, and then sent them over for the slaughter. Due to their unstable gene seed, not only is their recruitment very difficult and their skin kind of fucked, with Tybros being especially ugly, but they can gain the Chill of the Void, a multi-stage curse that alters their personality, first by making them cold and antisocial, then by forcing them to lose the concept of mercy completely, before finally they can no longer work in a squad, choosing to become a lone space marine that acts as a scout or assassin. Although they don't seem like it, they are incredibly stealthy since they are Raven Guard and probably also Night Lord. Tybros was considered to be so massive that when he was looked upon by a tech priest, they thought he was a statue.
Separate
the
gene
dude
seeds.
uses what is most likely Corvus
Raven Guard
Corax's
and
siege
Night
lightning
Lords. How does
claws.
that happen?
To recruit, they perform the Red Tithe. Basically, they descend upon an imperial world and kidnap a lot of people. These people then become serfs, slaves, or if they are suitable, aspirants for the chapter. If you somehow needed any more convincing, there was a battle between the Night Lords and their demon allies versus the Space Sharks on a prison world, so a perfect environment for the Night Lords' combat style. The Space Sharks systematically hunted down and slaughtered the Night Lords, establishing themselves as the true apex predators. Any chapter that can beat the Night Lords at their own game is a chapter that is pretty fucking terrifying. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then pick up the Major Kill merch. A bunch of fun and pretty practical stuff. Hit the subscribe button and hit the real subscribe button for more spooky content. Join the Discord for more memes and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Okay, so there we go. There's the 5 most terrifying Loyalist Space Marine chapters. Very interesting. Really haven't heard of any of them, except for, I think I've heard, I've heard a little bit about them. Very interesting. We sure they're loyalists? You know, I mean, attacking your own men? I don't know. First ones, those ones are pretty messed up, but I mean, I can see why they're kind of left alone. Like I was saying earlier, you know, well, you know, they're reliable, they come to their, you know, come to the Ultramarines' aid when needed, you know, so I guess, well, we'll just leave them alone. Yeah, all these chapters sound very, very freaky. Especially them. I still want to learn more about, what is it, the 5 something of blood, even though I think we saw 3 of them. This one, Space Sharks, and I believe these guys as well, I think, are 3 of the 5, I believe. But I'd like to learn who the other 2 are. But yeah, space sharks, they sound very interesting. And damn, that dude is huge. What did they say? The biggest space marine? Like, damn. Like, jeez. Look at that. Normal space marine and then him. I like his weapons. What can it be? Like a power fist or fold down to lightning claws? That's pretty cool. And then what was it these guys, or was it the other one, the scythes? Now, how come there's no, like, power scythes? I think that'd be a pretty cool weapon. Yeah, power swords, power fists. I don't know. I think a scythe would be kind of cool. But I guess it's probably only a limited thing for certain chapters to use. Most Space Marines probably don't use scythes, but I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. Alright, so anyways, there we go. There is the 5 most terrifying Loyalist Space Marine chapters. That is some pretty... Yeah, it is pretty brutal and terrifying. Wearing the skull of an enemy you defeated and stuff like that. Ugh. Jeez. And then what was it? The flesh terrors that orcs don't even want to fight them? Like, damn. You gotta be terrifying if orcs don't even want to fight you. That's saying a lot. Alright, so anyways, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. That'd be awesome. Remember, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description box below. And like I said earlier, come join me over on Discord and leave me all your thoughts and comments. What did you guys think about the list? Which chapter do you think is the most terrifying Space Marine chapter? Loyalist Space Marine chapter. Let me know down below. And other than that, yeah, just stick around. More videos are on the way. And I will see you guys next time.